Have you ever wondered how a significant number of White Russians ended up in the tropical islands of the Philippines? Our tale begins in the early 20th century amidst the turmoil of the Russian Civil War. Picture this: a country ravaged by conflict, its once unified populace divided into factions, the Reds, the Bolsheviks with their revolutionary zeal, and the Whites, the anti-Bolsheviks, a coalition of various political and social groups longing for a return to the old order. The White Russians, as they came to be known, were a proud and diverse group. They were nobles and peasants, soldiers and intellectuals, united by their opposition to the Bolsheviks. Yet, their resistance was ultimately in vain. Overwhelmed by the Red Army, they were forced to abandon their homeland, leaving behind everything they once held dear. Imagine the desperation, the uncertainty. Picture families torn apart by war, individuals ripped from their roots, their futures uncertain. This was the harsh reality for countless White Russians. Their lives were irrevocably altered, their world turned upside down. Yet, in the face of adversity, they held on to hope, a glimmering beacon guiding them towards a brighter tomorrow. Their exodus was no easy journey. They traversed vast landscapes, braved harsh climates, and faced countless dangers. Yet, they pressed on, fueled by the dream of a safe haven, a place where they could start anew. Their destination? None other than the Philippines. The Philippines, a tropical archipelago located thousands of miles away from the icy expanses of Russia, a land of warmth and sunshine, of lush greenery and crystal clear waters. It was a world away from the snow-covered landscapes they had left behind, a stark contrast to the turmoil-ridden homeland they were forced to abandon. And so, their journey began, a journey that would lead them to the most unexpected of places, the Philippines. The stage was set for an extraordinary chapter in history, a tale of resilience and survival, of hope amidst despair. As we delve deeper into this fascinating story, let us remember the strength and courage of the White Russians and the remarkable journey that led them to their new home. Imagine being uprooted from your homeland, your journey into the unknown fueled only by the hope for survival. This was the reality for the White Russians, a term used to describe those who opposed the Red Bolsheviks during the Russian Civil War. When defeat became inevitable, they embarked on a harrowing journey, leaving behind their homes, their heritage, and the familiarity of their homeland. Their journey was fraught with challenges. They traversed icy Siberian landscapes, crossed treacherous bodies of water, and braved harsh climatic conditions. The physical toll was immense. Many were ill-prepared for such a journey, lacking adequate clothing, food, and shelter. Yet they pressed on, propelled by their will to live and the hope of finding refuge. But the trials of this journey were not just physical. The emotional toll was equally, if not more, devastating. They were leaving behind their lives as they knew them, not knowing if they would ever return. The pain of separation, the fear of the unknown, the uncertainty of their future, these were burdens they carried with them, alongside their scant belongings. Yet in the face of adversity, the White Russians displayed an extraordinary courage and resilience. They held on to their faith, their culture, their identity. They supported each other, shared what little they had, and consoled each other in their shared grief. Their spirit was unbroken, their resolve unyielding. Children, too, were a part of this exodus. They bore witness to the hardships, the sacrifices, the courage. Their innocence was lost, but in its place grew a strength and resilience that would define their character in the years to come. The hardships they faced were numerous, the journey long and arduous. But they did not lose hope. They did not give up. They continued on their journey, their spirits undeterred, their hearts filled with hope. Despite the hardships, they continued with unwavering spirit, their eyes set on their new home, the Philippines. Now picture this, from the freezing cold of Russia to the tropical warmth of the Philippine Islands. Imagine trading your fur coats for breezy tropical shirts, the icy winds for the warm sea breeze, and the snow-covered landscapes for lush greenery and vibrant blue seas. That's precisely what the White Russians did when they sought refuge in the Philippines. The transition was not without its challenges. The sweltering heat, the unfamiliar food, the different language, and the stark cultural differences all posed significant hurdles. But the White Russians, known for their resilience, adapted to their new environment with an admirable spirit. They started by learning the local language, Tagalog. This was no easy feat, but it was a crucial step towards integration. They also embraced Filipino customs and traditions, from the vibrant fiestas to the close-knit family structures. They even developed a taste for local cuisine, with its unique blend of sweet, sour, and savory flavors. But the White Russians didn't just adapt, they also contributed significantly to their new home. They brought with them their rich culture and traditions, which they shared freely with their Filipino neighbors. They introduced Russian music, dance, and art, adding a new layer to the already diverse Filipino culture. They also brought their skills and knowledge, contributing to various fields, from agriculture to education to business. There were struggles, of course. There were language barriers, cultural misunderstandings, and even periods of homesickness. But through it all, the White Russians showed incredible resilience. They built communities, established businesses, and started families. They didn't just survive, they thrived. In the process, they created a unique blend of Russian and Filipino cultures. They brought together the best of both worlds, creating a vibrant and diverse community that continues to enrich the Philippines to this day. In the face of adversity, they built a new life, creating a unique blend of Russian and Filipino cultures. From refugees to valued members of society, the story of the White Russians in the Philippines is a testament to the human spirit's resilience and adaptability. It's a story of challenges faced, struggles overcome, and a new life built in the face of adversity. But how did the Filipinos respond to this influx of foreign refugees, you might ask? Well, the answer lies in the inherent warmth and compassion of the Filipino people. As the White Russians arrived, they were met not with skepticism or hostility, but with open arms and open hearts. The Filipinos, known for their hospitable nature, welcomed these weary travelers into their communities. There was no question of nationality, of language, or of political ideology. At that moment, they were simply fellow human beings in need, and that was all the reason the Filipinos needed to extend their help. The White Russians were given shelter, food, and a chance to rebuild their lives on this tropical island nation. They were not treated as outsiders, but rather as new members of the community. This acceptance allowed the White Russians to feel at home, to feel safe, after years of uncertainty and fear. And as the days turned into months, and months into years, a remarkable thing happened. The White Russians and the Filipinos, despite their cultural differences, began to understand and respect each other. They learned from one another, shared their stories, their traditions, their hopes, and their dreams. This mutual respect and understanding facilitated a unique cultural exchange. The Filipinos introduced the White Russians to their vibrant festivals, their delicious cuisine, and their melodious music. In return, the White Russians shared their rich history, their art, and their deep-rooted traditions. The gratitude of the White Russians towards their Filipino hosts was immeasurable. They were not only given a place to stay, but were also given a chance to live again, to dream again, and for that, they were eternally thankful. The story of the White Russians in the Philippines is a testament to the power of compassion and acceptance. It's a story of how two seemingly disparate cultures can come together to create something beautiful. In the spirit of humanity, the Filipinos opened their hearts and homes to the White Russians, forging a bond that transcends borders. So, why does this story hold such significance today? You may wonder. Well, the story of the White Russian refugees in the Philippines isn't just a tale from the past. It's a living legacy, a beacon of hope that continues to illuminate the path of international relations and humanity. The ripples of this remarkable act of compassion by the Philippines continue to spread even today. Russia, the land from where these refugees once fled, hasn't forgotten the kindness shown by this tropical nation. In fact, the gratitude of Russia towards the Philippines echoes through the corridors of time, serving as a reminder that benevolence is a virtue that transcends borders and cultures. The impact of this migration goes beyond gratitude. It has fostered a unique cultural exchange and camaraderie between the two nations. The vibrant fusion of Russian and Filipino cultures can be witnessed in the shared traditions, the mingling of cuisines, and the blend of art forms. It's as if the two cultures have woven together a beautiful tapestry, each thread telling a story of unity and understanding. Moreover, this enduring friendship between Russia and the Philippines is a shining example of international solidarity. In a world often divided by political boundaries and ideological differences, this tale serves as a beacon, illuminating the potential for nations to come together and help each other in times of need. And perhaps the most significant legacy of this story is the lesson it offers to the world. It's a lesson about the power of empathy and understanding in the face of crisis. It teaches us that when we extend our hands to help those in need, we aren't just offering immediate relief. We're also weaving a narrative of hope and resilience that can resonate for generations to come. This story serves as a testament to the power of compassion and understanding, reminding us that in times of crisis, humanity always finds a way to shine through.